Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another course video. No, not a course video. Today's a trade recap video. I gotta record the course video later. I haven't uploaded in a minute. Let me tell you why. It's because, I was gonna go these daily uploads, but I was at orientation. I was busy. I was at orientation for my college. And shit was crazy. Things have been going crazy, but we're back with the shirtless trade recaps. Every trade recap, I am ever wearing a shirt during a trade recap. Alright, that's how it's going. That's how it is. Alright, so let's just hop right into this. Alright, let's look at the trade I took this morning. Bang. Alright, look at that beautiful trade. And you're like, yo, that's not beautiful. That's chopped. And it is kind of chopped because it took a little while. But we got there. We got the full take profit. Let's take a look. How long was this trade? It's a good hour and 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. This today. Listen, it wasn't the greatest. We still got all our rules. We still followed all our rules. We still got everything. It's just market's been a little trash recently. The first trade I've taken this weekend. It's Thursday, so you know how it is. So yeah, let's take a look at this trade. Yeah. Let me get on to. Actually, we're not gonna replay mode today. We're just gonna stick to it. Starting off, what do we do? We start on the daily time frame, like always, every time, every day. And this candle wasn't here, but let's look at this. Let's look at what price is, where we think price is gonna go, right? So right here, I'm looking initially just from the daily. I was thinking bearish because what happened here? We got this move up after we getting this little retrace down into like this kind of level. So let's see, where's my tools right here? So if I mark this out right here, you can see right here we tapped into that little 61.8% zone, this kind of like reversal zone. And then what happened after that? We had a move up, and usually it goes internal to external, internal to external. So obviously the golden zone is an internal draw on liquidity. So we went down, we tapped into that. So I was thinking, okay, we're gonna come out and take out these highs today, right? So I was initially thinking bearish for the day, right? But of course we did take out these highs the other day. And I was just thinking we're gonna come out and take out the swing high right here, right? So let's take a look. What happened next on the 4 hour? So we're going down to the 4 hour right here. And let's see what do we have over here. Obviously this candle hasn't happened yet, so we didn't see that. So we're over here, right? So what am I marking out on the 4 hour? I was kind of I was so surprised when I saw this shit. But like we have all this low resistance liquidity. You can see it. You just mark out your highs and lows and your fair value gaps, right? So I'm seeing all this liquidity. Goes to the 1 hour, you see kind of the same exact thing on MES over here. Go to the 15-minute, and then you can see it clearly, all this low resistance liquidity, right? That's getting stacked up like this, right? You ready for this? This is NQ. Are these not supposed to be correlating indexes? We got the low resistance on the bottom at MES. On NQ, we got the low resistance liquidity at the top. So it's like, what are we doing, right? So initially I'm thinking like, shit. On MES, I'm kind of thinking shorts because I kind of see this kind of happening. I see this AMD day, what I marked out in the beginning of the day. I was like, all right, we got this A, and then we got the manipulation right here. And I was expecting it to just sort of dump. I was expecting to inverse this fair value gap, which we did end up doing on NQ, and we inversed that. So I was thinking, okay, we're probably just gonna get a retrace down and dump the rest of the day. But we ended up getting another move up. So you can see here we end up going up here. So from all the marking out the liquidity, where the strong draws on liquidity are, I was thinking bearish just because of all these draws on liquidity, and it was just like that was my bias for today. Because one, I was thinking, okay, we have a lot of liquidity here. We did come and sweep out these highs over here. We're coming down to sweep these highs out. These could be great take profit zones. That's why I'm thinking I'm seeing this consolidation manipulation sort of forming right here. So I'm thinking that expansion is going to be over here. Market open, we're going to dump. But obviously that didn't happen. What did end up happening was we went up took out this high, took out this high time frame high, and we were reaching for this one right here. So I'm like, okay, we just took a lot of high time frame liquidity out. So I'm thinking, sure, we're probably gonna get a nice displacement downwards and a nice entry over here. So what ended up happening was, let's play out the market, right? 9:30, we're on the 5-minute. We're gonna keep going till we check out all our confluences. So what's the first thing we're gonna check off is going to be our high time frame liquidity sweep. Of course, we already did get that, but what's gonna happen here? Gonna sweep this high time frame liquidity, so we have another sweep. You know, the more the merrier. So what happens? We come over here and then we head down and we break structure on this candle right here. So we have this low right here, this low, and it's going to be our break of structure. You know, on top of that, we inverse this fair value gap right here. So if I mark this out, we had an inverse fair value gap right here. So that is going to be our first 5-minute confluence. All right, next we're gonna want to retrace into one of our confluences. This was pretty sure fair value gap on the 1-minute, but of course that doesn't count here. So what happened? We went up and we tapped into this kind of golden zone area. And then we're thinking, okay, or hold on, let me get it. Yeah, here we go. And then we're thinking, okay, so that was the 15-minute. So we gotta break a structure here, is what I should have actually said. Sorry about that, guys. I was also sort of just wondering what was going on there. Didn't realize we were on the 15-minute. So check this out. We have a break of structure here, and right here, when we created this leg down, you can see that this is in fact the golden zone of this leg down. And what happened? We ended up getting a retrace into that zone, the golden zone over there. Getting a retrace in, we actually tapped in multiple times. And then we had this displacement down and we broke structure right here and right here. I wanted to break below here because we had a 1-hour fair value gap. You never trade into opposing fair value gap, so I wanted to see us close underneath it. So what happened once we got that retrace, I headed over to the 1-minute time frame, and then let's take a look at what happened here. We went in, we made a fair value gap here, this nice displacement down, and then I entered off of this close below this low. So I entered, you know, I was checking how many contracts. So why don't we do this right here? Let's do a replay. I could show you how this entry played out. All right, so I'm over here and I'm going to go through the whole process again. So basically you're here, you're ready to enter, you have your entry already, so we're gonna sell, right? So we put our stop loss where we place our stop loss. We're gonna place our stop loss at the nearest 5-minute high, which is going to be right here, and we're gonna place our take profit at whichever low is gonna give us the best RR. So let's see this gives us 0.99, that's below 1, so we're not gonna take that. Here 1.5 RR, so that's really good. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna click that right there, and then we're going to go over to my calculator. So let's click over here, click this, and let's move this to my second monitor. Right. So back to trading view, we see our stop is 20.5 on MES. So we're gonna scroll over to MES, put in our 20.5. And you see, I was trading on an eval today to pass another eval, get funded more. But the usual risk we would do is 6,000, right? On a 400K account, I would risk 6,000, but you know, just to make it a little more down to your scale, guys. If you're trying to pass a 100K account, you're going to want to risk 2,000 is what I'd recommend, and go for just sell at 1.2K. So you only need to make 4 or 5 trades, right? So let's take a look. 20 contracts is what the calculator gave out. So let's go over to TradingView. And now we're going to end up entering this trade. So let's go ahead and hit sell. So we are taking a short position and it said 20 contracts. So let's hit 20 and let's set our take profit and stop loss prices. So we're going to right click, copy price for our stop loss, put that in right there. And we're gonna right click and copy price for our take profit. And then we're just gonna go ahead and hit enter for selling. I'm gonna take profit, stop loss. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead. It's gonna play that little noise. We're going to then hit a buy 20 limit order, right? Just change that to 10 because you want it to be 50% of your position. And you're gonna hit buy, and that's gonna be our partials, right? So you guys know how the risk management strategy works by now. And let's take a look, right? So let us play this out. What ends up happening, we actually end up going into drawdown quite a bit in this trade because of the sort of fair value gap that we created on the displacement. So we want to retrace there. So we did hit partials just then, so we're going to move our stop loss to break even, see how this trade plays out. We end up going back for another retrace up, another back, we get a little chop, and then we end up hitting full take profit right there, right? So that is the trade I took. And you guys can see that we did indeed. If I could move this up, or yeah, I forgot. There we go. Oh, I really hope I didn't. Yeah, okay. There we go. So yeah, that is a trade for 2.4K. That is going to be 2.4K on the day. And if you're passing an eval, I would honestly just recommend you just get 1.2K and then get out of your trade. That's going to increase your win rate by a lot, and you're only going to need 4 wins, or 5 wins in a row to pass your eval, because it's usually 6%. And yeah, that's going to be the trade today. Any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can run out my Discord. We're growing the community there. Just hop on the Discord, send an application, and we'll try to accept you as soon as possible. Thank you guys, and have a great day, everyone.